Hello. साफ सफाई करना और वो एक सेंस ऑफ प्राइड डेवलप हो जाता है।
लेकिन हर साल
Hello, good afternoon, and a very warm welcome. On behalf of Team Swachh Bharat Mission Urban at the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs, I warmly welcome you all to the 10th episode of Swachh Talks on the eve of World Environment Day 2025. As you may all know, Swachh Talks is one of the mission's key capacity building and peer learning platforms. And in the last few years, we have organized several Swachh Talks on very key topics, including toilets, plastic waste management, solid waste management, toilet designs, capacity building, community-led initiatives, women for Swachhata, etc. So on the eve of World Environment Day, it gives us all great pleasure to welcome you all. Thank you for joining us for the next 1 hour. And without further ado, I would request Shri Binay Jhaji, the Director, Swachh Bharat Mission Urban, to kindly share his introductory remarks.
Good afternoon, everyone. So this is, as you all know, on the eve of World Environment Day, we are conducting this 10th episode of Swachhata Talks. Today, we are joined by our Joint Secretary, Ms. Shrupa Mishra, all officers from SBM, and the participants are urban local bodies, and they are live on the screen. And today, I also welcome three important speakers for the day, and they are veteran in their field. They have contributed to the society, and Sri Pradeep Shangwanji, the founder Healing Himalayas, Sri Sagnik Mukherjee, founder and director Popcorn India, and Sara Adhira SHG, group of Tamil Nadu. So before I take further time, so I'll request Sharice to just please invite first speaker with a brief introduction.
Thank you, sir. This year's theme for World Environment Day is Ending Plastic Pollution Globally. And as part of this special initiative, not only are we having the Swachh Talks today, but we also have a full-fledged public campaign going on as we speak. States and urban local bodies are conducting special activities relating to plastic out, fabric in, which is the deployment of cloth bag alternative vending machines and kiosks at high footfall, tourist and spiritual places. We have plastic collection drives at RRR centers going on. And we also have the Swachh Bharat, Harit Bharat Green Pledge that ULBs are undertaking, that citizens are undertaking as we speak. So this sets a very good background and a very good context to have a discussion on plastic waste management. And without further ado, I would request the first speaker, Shri Pradeep Sangwanji, the founder of Healing Himalayas, to please tell us about his experience in the hills. Mr. Sangwan has been part of an environmental movement that focuses on protecting a very fragile ecosystem in India. And he has been associated with the mission through his Healing Himalayas Foundation. It started as a passion for trekking, but converted into a passion for Swachhata and for Swachh Bharat mission. And since then, he has led over 1,000 cleanup drives and has already established 8 MRFs across Himachal Pradesh just to help save the fragile ecosystem of the Himalayas. We would like to mention that the efforts of Pradeep Sangwanji over the years has also been mentioned by the Honorable Prime Minister in his Mann Ki Baat several times. And we think that the key aspect of the success that the Healing Himalaya Foundation has seen is due to the strong support that volunteers, local communities, and partners have extended to the mission and to his foundation to eradicate plastic pollution. And now his efforts have also reached Uttarakhand's Char Dham Yatra. So, sir, over to you. Please do tell us what your experience has been in the fragile ecosystem of the Himalayas for Swachh Bharat mission and to eradicate plastic waste.
Namaste and good afternoon, everyone. Are we playing the video first or should I continue?
Play the video first. We will play the video first.
All right, all right.
पहली बार यहीं बैठे थे हम लोग। यहाँ से हम गए, एक छोटा सा ट्रैक है, इट्स कॉल्ड सेथन डोम। 2-2.5 घंटे का हाइकिंग है। हमने शुरुआत की, 3-4 मेरे दोस्त घूमने आए थे, तो उनको मैं लेके गया कि चलो कुछ एक अलग एंगल से ट्रैवलिंग करते हैं, कुछ नया इंट्रोड्यूस करते हैं आपकी लाइफ में, मेरी लाइफ में भी। एंड इनिशियल हाफ एन आवर में सब लोग थोड़ा सा हिचकते हैं, बट इवेंचुअली स्टार्ट कर लेते हैं लोग साफ सफाई करना, और वो एक सेंस ऑफ प्राइड डेवलप हो जाता है।
लेकिन हर साल हिमालय की यात्रा पर आने वाले लाखों टूरिस्ट ऐसा नहीं करते। वो अक्सर साफ पानी के पास समतल जगह पर कैंप लगा लेते हैं और सीधे नदियों में अपनी गंदगी बहा आते हैं। ये नदियां स्थानीय जैव विविधता के लिए बहुत जरूरी हैं और स्थानीय समुदायों के लिए भी काफी अहम। लेकिन इन दिनों नदियां कचरा और प्रदूषण हो रही हैं। प्रदीप सांगवान इस समस्या से निपटने की कोशिशों में जुटे हैं। उनका संगठन हीलिंग हिमालय इलाके में लोगों को सैर
Just a minute, Mr. Sangwan. I think there's an issue at our end.
Of heavy words to explain climate change, but for them it was very simple, directly related to their livelihoods.
प्रदीप की कोशिश है कि हिमालय में आने वाले सैलानियों और यहाँ के स्थानीय लोगों के व्यवहार को बदला जाए। यहाँ पर्यटन उद्योग सस्टेनेबल नहीं है। वो सफाई अभियानों से आगे बढ़कर लोगों को बताना चाहते हैं कि कचरे को जला देने के बजाय उसे रिसाइकिल करना क्यों जरूरी है।
हमारे वॉलंटियर के साथ हम कोशिश करते हैं कि लोकल समुदाय के लोग भी जुड़े, और सस्टेनेबल डायरेक्शन में अगर हमने जाना है तो उनके बिना कभी भी सस्टेनेबिलिटी अचीव नहीं कर सकते। और इस प्रोसेस में जो मटेरियल हम कलेक्ट करते हैं, जो लोग उस पर मेहनत करते हैं ऑन अ डेली बेसिस, उनका रेवेन्यू जनरेट हो। हमारी कोशिश रहती है कि लोकल समुदाय के किसी एक इंडिविजुअल को हम ट्रेन करें ताकि लाइवलीहुड भी जनरेट हो थ्रू दीज एमआरएफ्स।
चेतराम जैसे स्थानीय लोग हीलिंग हिमालयास की कोशिशों में मदद कर रहे हैं। शुरू में चेतराम सिर्फ अपने गांव की सफाई करना चाहते थे, लेकिन अब कचरे की छटाई और रिसाइकलिंग का काम देखते हैं। इसका मतलब ज्यादातर कूड़ा कचरा घरों में नहीं जाता है। प्रदीप नियमित रूप से पड़ोसी गांवों के स्कूली बच्चों से मिलते हैं। वो भी कचरा जमा करने के काम में हाथ बटाते हैं।
मैसेज करते हैं कि हमने आपको देखा और उससे हमने सीखा और हमने स्टार्ट किया अपने लेवल पे, और हम इतने लेवल पे पहुंच गए, हम काफ़ी बड़े हो गए हैं। तो वो बड़ा अच्छा लगता है कि लोग सस्टेन कर पाए उस मोमेंट को। सोशल मीडिया का इस्तेमाल तरीके से किया हमने कि काम को शोकेस करें और इस तरीके से करें कि उसमें लोग जुड़े, और तब वहाँ से हमें वॉलंटियर्स मिलने स्टार्ट हुए।
हजारों लोग अब पहाड़ों को होने वाले नुकसान को कम करने में मदद करने लगे हैं। हीलिंग हिमालयास बखूबी ये बता रहा है कि पहाड़ों में सैलानी के रूप में आने का मतलब है उन्हें बेहतर हालात में छोड़कर जाना।
All right. Good afternoon once again. Pradeep Sangwan this side. from small and beautiful community called Healing Himalayas. So we started our journey back in 2016, and when I started, I realized one thing between. I think this is. Am I audible, loud and clear to everyone? First of all, okay. So recently, I was, just figuring out a few things, and one of the things that I got to know is between 2014 and 2018, I guess there has been many people like me. Just can you just hold on for a second? Like,
Pradeep ji, are you there?
music in the background, so that too. So extremely sorry for that. Coming back to the, one of the things that I realized lately that between 2014 and 2018, there's been a lot of people who came up with the idea of taking the onus of initiating something like this, wherein they are going out, traveling, trekking within their community. They started small scale cleaning drives. Some of my friends started rejuvenating ponds, etc. And it gave us a lot of strength back then that there are people like us who just started. There's no particular background that has been setting the tone that we can go into this direction. But somehow we got the confidence. And another reason is that the problem was there right before us. When I just started the first track, I didn't know what to do with the collected waste. And each step taught me that, what should be the way forward for us. First track, three friends, hardly willing to be a part of the cleanup campaign, took them out. And then once we started cleaning, the sense of pride that I saw was one of the biggest kick that I got to continue the efforts. But the problem was, uh, once we have collected the waste, how to dispose it off. So now most of the community that I'm talking right now is from the urban development, but primarily I started working from the rural areas of Himalayas. And the missing ecosystem in the rural areas of waste management was there. Most of the community that we have nowadays in the rural settings have a small school within the village, primary healthcare center, a temple also, but there was no waste management ecosystem, small scale waste, storage centers, segregation centers, triple R centers, material recovery facilities, which we call in a very fancy way nowadays MRF, the short form. So they were not there, and we barely had the means to, store our waste because we had the pressure of immediately transport the material that we collect. So the first step came into our direction was to set up these waste management ecosystems. First material recovery facility was built in Kinnaur, beautiful district of Himachal Pradesh in Sangla Valley, very close to Indo-China border, and now it's also part of vibrant village, Chitkul and Raksham. So we were catering to these two villages. Now these small scale ecosystem that we built are very difficult to sustain. Also, the reverse supply chain was very difficult to create because it was not there. So when we started storing our material within the MRF and when we started transporting, we realized there's a lot of cost attached to it. That's why the local communities were never wanted to create that ecosystem. That transporting the material from point A to B was very far away. So the nearest recycling facility from our location was almost 12 hours away, 13 hours away, and it never made sense for us. to transport that material for recycling. But then we started storing a lot of material. Once we had about 7 to 10 tons of material, recyclable material, we used to wait within the village that somebody will come with a truck full of cement or steel, etc. And then while going back, it will be empty, and we can you know reduce some transportation cost. So these were some basic issues initially, that how to get corporates to fund our project in a very remote region of Himalayas, because that's where they don't have any sort of interest. That was the number one challenge. Second challenge was to create the reverse supply chain of materials. Third was how to engage communities and motivate them to be a part of this, and become the champions of these local ecosystem, and so that they can carry it forward. Because there's a lot of stigma attached to waste management, and we all know it. We are deeply rooted into waste management, on a day-to-day basis. World Environment Day is just one day, but every day we are doing the same thing, and we celebrate in our own way the World Environment Day every day. So it wasn't there. Like, once we burst that bubble, go out from the limited circle of waste management people hardly used to talk about waste management. So how to make it the talk of the town? Because most of these fragile ecosystems that we live in, most beautiful pristine locations, मतलब स्विट्जरलैंड भी क्या करेगा इन लोकेशन के सामने? इतने खूबसूरत हमारे पहाड़ हैं, वेस्टर्न हिमालयाज, नॉर्थ ईस्ट हिमालयाज. But again, the slowly dying belongingness of the community was there. It was quite visible. The growing tourism, the agriculture-based economy is slowly shifting towards tourism-based economy. In places like Lahore, which just saw a surge of 300 times tourism within a span of 3 months after opening of Hotel Tunnel. So these small sensitive locations needed these waste management ecosystems, and that's where we created this small decentralized waste management system, so that we can get into the core of the issue. Now, once we have built these 8 recovery facilities across the Himalayan state, and now the focus is how to minimize also, because the priority is always to minimize. For example, we banned, in 2022, the single-use plastic articles, because they are the biggest nuisance in our country. Rest everything is being collected, recycled. PET is almost 80%. It's collected right now, and it is sent out for recycling. But MLP and flexibles, low-value plastic materials are still a problem. And in the Himalayan region, the EPR is still not very beneficial for people like us, because uh, the policy is same for each and every state, wherein for all the 13 Himalayan states and UT, it should be different. It should be a little higher in terms of the pay that we get through EPR, but it's still not there. We're still trying to get it right. And also, we are just recently we explored DRS system, that how to strengthen EPR through DRS. And 3-4 days back, Himachal Pradesh has come up with the DRS notification. So these are small scale, ideas, or way forwards, wherein we are collaborating multiple aspects to resolve one particular problem. One is how to create infrastructure in the rural areas, because the complexity is there. When we try and get the land to set up these MRFs, there's a problem. Forest department always, it's very difficult to get land, because through FRA, if we try to get the land, there is no clause as such, wherein a community from forest department can get waste management facility set up land. FCA is a very long and lengthy process. It takes about 2.5 years. You recently seen the video of Kasol, which went viral for last 10 days. For FCA in Kasol, it took about 2.5 years to get the land. So in those period, how they have managed their waste, we all know it's been mostly burnt or dumped in the Parvati River, and eventually meeting to Byas. So these are small complex issues within the ecosystem or within the policy framework that we need to address. But building infrastructure and then maintaining them and then creating right champions to take the whole initiative forward is again one of the key challenges. So wherever we are, we try and do that. In out of all the 8 MRFs that we have, 3 MRFs are four are being run by the local champions now, and 4 we are still managing, and we'll still we are very soon going to hand it over to the community there. Now, another part of our work is which primarily focus on the high altitude track routes. We mentioned Kedarnath. We just last year we started working around Kedarnath Yatra, and last year, about 17 to 18 lakh pilgrims visited that particular location, beyond the carrying capacity, obviously. This year already, last week, The yatra started on the 2nd of May, and day 4 yesterday, 7 lakh pilgrims visited the site so far. It's a good thing that people are coming to that particular location, visiting, boosting the local economy. And there are people from Kedarnath Development Authority, Urban Development, which it comes under, thankfully, it comes under Urban Development Authority. The Panchayat and the KDA, they have appointed about 300 people, Swasthha, Prahari or Swasthha Mitra, along the route and at the top to collect the waste. But 300 versus 25 lakh pilgrims is quite a disparity that we can see. And the reverse supply chain from the top to bottom of waste is quite expensive. What we thought that will, we allocated some budget for Kedarnath for 9 months, and we are looking at the numbers, and we are consuming that money within 3 months. So that's the kind of cost. So to set up the MRF at the top, we almost exhausted about 78 lakh rupees. So it is almost 4 times the budget because the transportation cost is very high. Now, there are already people working there, but we still need to create that reverse supply chain. But at the same time, all the 13 Himalayan states plus UT, we can hardly say that there is one particular track route in all these states which has complete end-to-end ecosystem of waste management, uh, trekking and traveling guidelines. At the foothill, they have proper tourist information center, which has about rescue team, which has medical team at the foothill. Along the route, toilets are being there installed. So there are hardly any such track routes. So we need to create that number. And we are trying to do that at one particular track route, which is Khirganga, again, very close to Kasol in Parvati Valley, very famous and infamous for multiple reasons. But yet, every year in that valley, about 30 to 35 lakh travelers come. The famous Malana village, famous Kasol, trekking route Khirganga. So these places, locations attracted a lot of people. Yet in 2024, last year, it saw its first material recovery facility in those spaces. So all across the Parvati Valley, there's only one material recovery facility which was built by us last year, and now it is operational. And we have made sure that each and every MRM that we have is digital, and all the data is being uploaded every day. Every evening we can see the amount of material which is coming in, the segregation process that in that particular day, the quantity of segregation that has been done, so that we can make sure the efficiency is there, because we don't want to have any backlog within the MRF so that it can become another dumping site. So we have made sure that this should happen, and we can happily share that data with everyone who wants to take it forward within their region, locality. Now, why I'm sharing this is it's very important, because whatever we set up, sustainably running those MRFs is very important. Now, these MRFs also on their own are not very sustainable ideas. Okay, so if you think that through the material that we collect, we can resell and we can generate revenue, it's not going to happen. So we also engage Panchayat for 15th Finance Commission. We also engage Swachh Bharat Mission team. We also create user fees collection system. So in these apps, you can see that the amount of user fees that we have collected every month, so that we know where we stand at. So now this is the ecosystem, the complete ecosystem we are trying to create. So I think Khirganga is going to be one of the track routes where we are going to create a tourist information center, material recovery facility, and also we are going to check each and every natural spring hotspot where people can refill their water bottles, and we can beautify those locations, and we can, with the help of GB Pant, we are in touch with them. They can check the water quality and put up a signage that this water is drinkable, very much better than the PET water bottle that we get across the country. So these are small little ideas that I'm trying to sort of implement. Sorry, I think my time is over. So basically, to conclude, these small scale, missing ecosystem from our country, especially in the rural and some of the urban areas, must be implemented. We should make sure that in urban spaces like Gurgaon, we should have decentralized material recovery facility within a couple of sectors, so that we can follow the model of Bhubaneswar, which is coming up very well now, and also Indore is always there. So yes, this is what we've been doing, and we look forward to work at multiple other pilgrimages. This year we're going to start Uttarkashi and also Gangotri and Yamunotri, and next year Badrinath. So these are the locations that we look at, because these locations attracted a lot of pilgrims, and we would like to make sure that each and every pilgrim have a very great feeling of natural connect and also religious beliefs. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. Some very key policy suggestions have been shared by you, which we have all heard. And thank you for giving us a glimpse into the operations and the way in which, a mission like this, a movement like this can be managed on a day-to-day basis. And we are keen to see now how you can integrate the spring water in a sustainable way for all pilgrims, for all tourists, so that eventually we can possibly see a SUP-free Himalayan ecosystem. And very rightly, as you said, that our country is the land of the hills, the mountains, the plateaus, the plains, and each of these geographies require their own Swachh solutions. So we thank you on behalf of the mission for being a Swachh solution strategist and for always taking the word of the mission well beyond and letting it echo in the mountains. Thank you very much, sir. So
thank you, Swachh Bharat. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. We move on to the next speaker for the 10th episode of Swachh Talks. It is Shri Shagnik Mukherjee, who is the founder and director of an organization, of a business called Pepcom India. And the reason that Pepcom India is interesting to us today is because Pepcom India is trying to solve a very interesting problem. That is the problem of helping citizens switch and choose sustainable packaging, sustainable cutlery, and anything relating to food delivery. As we know, we have a culture now, especially in urban India, where food delivery apps have become very popular and most households rely on them. What that means is that the waste relating to that habit can increase. So, sir, we are curious to know how the solutions that you're proposing for this and how your business has exactly tried to solve for this key problem of switching to paper-based solutions instead of the usual plastic cutlery and packaging. Over to you.
Thank you very much. First of all, good afternoon, everyone, and advance happy World Environment Day to all of you. I'm Shagnik Mukherjee, founder of Pepcom India, and I'm feel honored and grateful to speaking at the 10th edition of Swachh Talks. Thanks Swachh Bharat Mission to give me the opportunity. So actually today's theme, ending plastic pollution globally. So it is a topic for the discussion today, but it's actually a mission for us. Being a Pepcom, we have a mission to ending plastic pollution from globally, and we are working on this. And being an entrepreneur, I'm simply working on it. So I come from a background where I have seen firsthand the scale and impact of plastic pollution, especially in the food and hospitality sector. If you everyone remember during the pandemic, something deeply alarming, while food delivery was booming, so we people all are locked in inside our houses, and randomly we order food from different restaurants, cloud kitchens, cafes, and having the food habits with the food deliveries mostly. So if you see on during those times, it's around 99% of the restaurants are mostly using the delivery container as a plastic containers, and literally the not only the plastic containers, every item with the delivery, it's completely coming with the plastic only. So these are the main noticed. I have seen this, and that uh, this is really concern for me. How can we go with this kind of plastic completely with this? So I need to get some solution. I thought about that, how we can go for an alternate product. From this time I have started with research. From that we started the Pepcom India on back 2022. Before that, from 2020 to 22, we go for a research, how the alternate product can better for the HoReCa industries, which can be mostly it is expensive than plastic, but still it is accepted by the restaurants owners or the cafe owners. These are most essential thing, and we research on this for our last 2 years. Then we started Pepcom India on 2022. So small creating prototype paper-based container that could hold hot food, liquids, deliveries over long distance without leaking or tearing or losing shape. So we know that restaurants would not just switch to the sake of the environment. So we spoke their language of cost convenience, branding, customer experience. These three things we just put in every restaurant owner's mind. So we just pitch the restaurant owners like it is very affordable, compromising without compromising any quality. Still, it's little higher than the plastic, but it's affordable to you. On functionality, it's actually completely better than plastic. And with custom branding, it can be your brand value, increase your brand value, and it can be scalable. It's absolutely, it will be the future for next 3-4 years. So first few of the clients were spectacle, but once we saw the packaging could protect their food, reduce spillage, and actually impress customers, they become advocate. And I'm really thankful. I'm definitely want to take their name. Like Wamomo is one of the major client of our industry. It's a known, very famous restaurant chain, cafe chain over QSR chain over India. So they started with the paper packaging from long back, and they are our one of the major client throughout. We are delivering the containers throughout India from them. And some of the restaurant like Rang De Basanti Dhaba is one of the famous restaurant in Calcutta. We have in Bangalore also, and Guwahati also. So they and some of the famous restaurant like Bhute Raja Dilo Bor, it's famous Bengali restaurant in Calcutta, and one of his another venture is Bawarchi. So these people are really, I'm thankful to them. They trust us on Pepcom and quality of the product. They started with the from replacing the plastic, and they adopt our paper containers, and thankfully we are continuously supplying to them. And not only then, we are proud to share that over 80 restaurants, cafes, hospitality brands in pan India, we are presently supplying regularly. So we learn in this journey that change does not happen by preaching; it happens with the empower people a better alternative. We did not just replace the plastic; we helped our clients become part of something larger, a movement for sustainable and replaceable growth. So this is the future of the restaurant industry throughout India, and we are onto this mission. And regularly, we are trying speak with the maximum QSR chain restaurants, and we definitely working with the major clients over India, and we are targeting one of the biggest food serving company like IRCTC. We are trying to speak with them. We already product has been tested with them, and they like our product very much. So in future, definitely you people all get the foods in the train through our containers also. Thank you. This is all about us. If you need anything specific, please reach.
Thank you so much. It was very interesting to hear how you've created a jugalbandi between business sales, environmental sustainability, branding, and swachhta. And that is a very unique way to solve a very pressing problem that urban India has. And your brief but impactful talk told us that anything is possible if you just have the SWABHAV for Swachhata, which you do. So thank you very much, sir. Thank you for supporting the mission through your business, and thank you for helping 80 plus restaurants divert tons of plastic and other materials from landfills every day.
Absolutely.
So with that, we would move on to the next speaker. Our next speaker, they are actually leading a movement of their own in the state of Tamil Nadu. And they are very closely related to the campaign that we are running right now for World Environment Day. We have a plastic out cloth bag in initiative that is going on right now across all states. But Tamil Nadu has been well ahead with their efforts for this, because they have a very interesting effort called the Manjapai effort, which is the yellow cloth bag effort that is existing in the state. And today we have representatives from the Sara and Adhira women self-help groups that are operating in the Trichy Corporation to come and tell us all about the Manjapai initiative that they've been running since 2018. And what these self-help groups do is that they are involved in not just the manufacturing, but also the sale of these eco-friendly products. And they include jute bags, cloth bags, paper bags. And this is a great way of using, again, business acumen for Swachhata and for the betterment of the environment. So I would request, under the SBM NULM convergence, the SHG representatives to please address us.
வணக்கம், என் பேர் சரஸ்வதி. தமிழ்நாடு திருச்சிராப்பள்ளி மாவட்டம், திருச்சி மாநகராட்சி அரியமங்கலம் கோட்டத்தின் கீழ் குழு செயல்பட்டு வருகிறது. எம்இஎல்எம் சாரா எஸ்ஹெச்ல நான் உறுப்பினராக இருக்கிறேன். குழுவில் வந்து மொத்தம் மெம்பர்ஸ் வந்து 11 பேர் இருக்கும். இதுல வந்து 5 பேர் வந்து தையல் தெரிஞ்சவங்களா, பை அதாவது நெகிழியை தவிர்ப்பதற்காக என்ன செய்யலாம்னு சூஸ் பண்ணி நாங்க வந்து மஞ்சள் பை தயாரிக்கலாங்கிற ஒரு இதை நாங்க பயன்படுத்துறோம். அதுக்காக நாங்க வணக்கம், என் பேரு தாஜினா, நான் என்னுடைய குழுவின் பேரு ஆதிரா. நாங்க தமிழ்நாடு திருச்சிராப்பள்ளி அரியமங்கலம் கோட்டத்தின் கீழே எங்களுடைய ஆதிரா எண்ணிலாம் செயல்படுது. என்னுடைய குழுல 12 பேர் இருக்காங்க. இதுல 7 பேருக்கு டைலரிங் தெரியும். அதனால நாங்களும் வந்து இப்போ என்னுடைய வாழ்வாதாரத்துக்கு என்ன செய்யறதுன்னு யோசிச்சு நாங்களும் சரி இந்த மஞ்சள் பைய கையில எடுக்கலாம், இந்த மஞ்சள் பைய செலக்ட் பண்ணோம். செலக்ட் பண்ணதுல எங்களுக்கு பக்கத்துலயே சாரா குழு இருக்கிறதுனால அவங்க கூட ஜாயின் பண்ணி நாங்க மஞ்சள் குழுவை நாங்க வந்து மஞ்சள் பை மட்டும் இல்லாம அதுலயே வந்து கட்டப்பை, பாலப்பை, அதே மாதிரி காகித பை, சணல் பை, இந்த மாதிரி பல வகையான பைகளையும் நாங்க செய்யறோம். அத வந்து இப்ப துணிப்பை வந்து நாங்க பர்ச்சேஸ் பண்ற இடம் வந்து பவானி, ஈரோடு இந்த மாதிரி இடத்துலதான் நாங்க பண்றோம். இதுக்கான நூலை வந்து நாங்க திருச்சி மாவட்டத்திலேயே நாங்க பர்ச்சேஸ் பண்ணிக்கிறோம். நாங்க இந்த பர்ச்சேஸ் பண்ணி நாங்க இதை தயாரிக்கிற பேக எங்க லோக்கல்லயே இருக்கிற அலிவால் ஸ்ட்ரீட்ல சேல்ஸ் பண்ணிடுறோம். அதாவது ஃபுல்லா மொத்தமா நாங்க வந்து சேல்ஸ் பண்ணிடுறோம். அப்புறம் சில்லறையா வந்து சில்லறையா சேல்ஸ் பண்றது வந்து கோயில் திருவிழாக்கள்ல கல்யாண வீடுகளுக்கு சேல்ஸ் பண்றோம், திருவிழாக்களுக்கு சேல்ஸ் பண்றோம். அப்புறம் அரசு பொருட்காட்சியில, அரசு கண்காட்சி அண்ட் பொருட்காட்சியில சேல்ஸ் பண்றோம். இந்த மாதிரி இடங்கள்ல எங்களுடைய சில்லறை வியாபாரத்தை நாங்க பண்ணிக்கிறோம். நாங்க ஒவ்வொரு மெம்பர்ஸுமே ஒவ்வொரு ஆளுமே வந்து இத பைய தைச்சு மாத வருமானம் பார்த்தா 7,500 இருந்து 10,000 வரையிலும் இந்த மஞ்சள் பை தயாரிச்சு நாங்க வருமானம் ஈட்டிக்கிறோம். அது மட்டும் கிடையாது, இந்த குழுவுல மற்ற பெண்களும் நாங்களும் வரோம், இது மூலியமா நாங்க செய்யறோம் அப்படின்னு மற்ற குழு பெண்களும் இணைஞ்சு கிட்டத்தட்ட 44 மெம்பர்ஸ் இதுல நாங்க இது பண்ணி ஒரு கோஆபரேட்டிவ் சொசைட்டியா ஆரம்பிக்கலாம் அப்படிங்கிற ஒரு யோசனையோட யோசிச்சு ஸ்ரீ மூகாம்பிகா உமன் மேனுஃபேக்சரிங் கோஆபரேட்டிவ் சொசைட்டி அப்படிங்கிற இதுல வந்து நாங்க ஒரு சொசைட்டி ஆரம்பிச்சு வச்சிருக்கோம். மாவட்ட பதிவாளருக்கு தான் இது பதிவு பண்ணியிருக்கோம். அதன் மூலியமா காகித பை, அதுக்குரிய மிஷினையே நாங்க வாங்கி போட்டு காகித பையும் நாங்க பண்றோம்.
There are 2 SLG members are here. One Saraswati from Sara Women Circle Group and Daira from Adira Circle Group. The Sara Women Circle Group is functioning in Ariyamangalam zone of the Trichy Corporation, Tiruchirappalli district. The 5 members of this group have been jointly engaged in the business of making and selling cloth bags. that is called Manjapai since 2018. Furthermore, in 2022, 7 members of the Adirai Women's Circle Group are also working together to carry out this work effectively. These groups are jointly manufacturing bags like cloth bag, jute bag, and paper bags. The raw materials required for this are purchased from Erode and Bhavani, and the yarns are purchased from Trichy. 10,000 bags.
நாங்க வந்து இந்த காகித பையை வந்து ஸ்னேகாலயா, சென்னை சில்க்ஸ் மற்ற மாவட்டங்களுக்குமே நாங்க சேல்ஸ் பண்றோம். இந்த மஞ்சப்பை வந்து சுற்றுச்சூழல் பாதிக்காதவாறு நாங்க அதை வெளியே பையை தவிர்ப்பதற்காகவும் இது பெருசா கொண்டு போய் நாங்க பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கிறோம்.
They are manufacturing and selling 10,000 pieces of 10 by 12 size cloth bags at the price of 12 per bag. They are earning a profit up to 7,500 by selling 10,000 pieces per member. In particularly, they are mass producing the bags and they sell at Allimar Street, a street called Allimar Street in Trichy. They are getting orders from time to time under the Meendum Manjapai scheme from Tamil Nadu government and are seeing and supplying cloth bags to the government.
நாங்க இந்த மஞ்சப்பையை கையில எடுத்தோம் அப்படின்னா இந்த மஞ்சப்பை வந்து சீக்கிரமா மண்ணுல மக்கும் திறன் உடையது. ரெண்டாவது மறுசுழற்சி பண்ண, அது இல்லாம இந்த கிளாத் பேக்ல விதையை வச்சு விதைச்சோம்னா மண்ணுக்கும் எந்த பிரச்சனையும் வராது, விதையும் சீக்கிரமா முளைச்சு நல்ல growth கொடுக்கும்.
Furthermore, paper bags are being manufactured using 90 GSM paper. For this purpose, special paper bag manufacturing machines have been purchased and envelope are being manufactured by this group. For this, they registered Sri Mookambika Women's Packaging Manufacturer Industrial Cooperative Society Limited. These bags are used instead of plastic bags to cover and sell sarees and other clothes at popular fabric stores like Chennai Silks and Snehalaya. Also, since the bag is easily biodegradable, it does not harm the environment like plastic bags. Unlike plastic bags, cloth bag can be used for a long time. The bags are biodegradable and can be used for planting seeds.
இந்த மஞ்சள் பை, அந்த மஞ்சள் பைங்கிறதுக்கு அந்த மஞ்சள் வந்து தமிழர்கள்கிட்ட வந்து பெரும் வரவேற்பை ஏற்படுத்தது. அதனாலதான் வந்து நம்ம மஞ்சள் நிறத்திலே கொண்டு நம்ம இது பண்ணி ஆரம்பிச்சோம்.
In Tamil Nadu, traditionally the yellow color is a divine one, so they are using this as a traditional one, using this manja pai.
எங்க தமிழ்நாடு கவர்மெண்ட் மூலமா எங்களுக்கு மஞ்சப்பை இயக்கம் இப்போ மக்கள் இயக்கமா மாறிட்டு இருக்கு. இதுல வந்து எங்களுடைய எஸ்எஸ்ஜி, அதாவது மகளிர் சுய உதவி குழுக்கள் முக்கிய பங்கு வகிக்குது. நெகிழி பையை தவிர்த்து மஞ்சள் பையின் பயன்பாட்டை தலைக்க செய்து நெகிழி பயன்பாட்டை தவிர்த்து மஞ்சள் துணிப்பையின் பயன்பாட்டை விளக்க செய்து வையகத்தை விளக்க செய்யும்.
With the support of Tamil Nadu government, we as SNG members, we come together and we refuse and we promote using of cloth bags and to save the earth and the society from environmental harmfulness.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Saraswati ji and Ms. Tahira ji, for joining us from Tamil Nadu and sharing the amazing work that you are doing with the Manjapai. It is truly an inspiration to see the way in which the mission has catalyzed women across the country to not just be part of the mission, but also lead the mission across states. So thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you for joining us and thank you for sharing with us your success story of the yellow cloth bag in Tamil Nadu. We have received some requests for questions. In case there are some questions, you may please raise your hands. And we do also have a list of questions that we have received. I will just be calling out the names of those who have questions. We have received a request from Ms. Sayeda Afri, the CEO of Belgavia Smart City in Karnataka. Ma'am, if you could please share what your question is and to whom.
My question, good afternoon everyone. This is Sayeda Afrin Ballari from Belgavi Smart City from Karnataka. This question is to any of the speakers or from government officials. My question is, as per the plastic waste management rules 2021, which came into effect from 1st of July 2022, single-use plastics have been officially banned. Despite of continuous efforts from city corporation and urban local bodies, they raid and seize these single-use plastics from shops, shopping malls, markets, etc. My question is, if the use of SUPs is banned, why hasn't the government implemented a complete ban on the manufacturing of these single-use plastic items as well? If we do not manufacture the single-use plastic, then using it and seizing it and seizures and raids will not arise.
Thank you, ma'am. We'll request Mr. Binay Jhaji to please take this question.
Yes, of course. As per the PWM 21 rule, single-use plastic is banned, and even but what happens again, I will suggest this is a behavioral aspect. If we don't accept, when we are going to any market, when we are going to any mithai shop, if we do not accept that cutlery, then the manufacture, all these kind of manufacturing are happening in a very small informal sector, जहाँ पे इस तरह से ही ये चीजें बन रही हैं. हम लोग अगर खुद ठान लें जो हमें ये यूज नहीं करना है, हमें इसमें नहीं लेना है, तभी हम रोक पाएंगे. सरकार ने रूल निकाल दिया, रूल की इम्प्लीमेंटेशन भी होती है, एक बार फाइन लगा देते हैं, ये सब कर सकते हैं, लेकिन जब तक हम सब लोग का प्रयास नहीं होगा तब तक हम लोग इसको पूरी तरह से बैन नहीं कर सकते. तो इसमें हमारा सबका सहयोग चाहिए होगा.
Thank you.
Any speaker, Pradeep ji, if you want to say anything, Pradeep Sangwan ji, if you want to say anything. मैडम ने जो सवाल किया है, मैंने तो एक आंसर दिया, इसके कई तरह के आंसर हो सकते हैं.
No, I think it's a collective effort because the government has been doing their bit by banning these, non-recyclable materials because they have been the biggest nuisance in our line of work. But I think from the consumer side also there has to be a push because one-sided efforts will not last longer. And I've seen
Yes.
that if I go and talk to somebody in the market and if I ask them that please don't use these poly bags, or maybe if you're out there, you're buying something, use just one poly bag instead of getting vegetables in 6 or 7 poly bags, then the fight within 2 minutes goes to China also because they say that it is being imported from China and all. So there's so many, complaints about it, but I think we should reflect on our behaviors also, and we need to first become the healer and the warrior of the planet, and then also teach each and everyone around us, and then bring the behavioral change around us. So that is the most crucial because the members of ULB versus the population of this country, again, a big disparity. So we can't reach in each and every home. So we need all these, the person who asked the question, I think you need to teach each one teach 10 sort of policy you need to adopt. And that's how we are going to stop this, the unregulated market of plastic, single-use plastic producers.
Yes.
Thank you for a great question and to the responses that we received. I would just like to add that in a situation like this, the example that we just heard from Tamil Nadu, the Manja Pai, which was represented by Saraswati ji and Tahira ji, is a local solution, is an indigenous solution that we have seen in a state that is working because they have on their own seized lakhs and lakhs of tons of single-use plastic bags. Just the Manja Pai initiative itself. So other states and all officials listening, you may like to consider the Manja Pai as a best practice in this regard. We also have a question request from Mr. SWABHAV Acharya ji, the Deputy Municipal Commissioner, Jabalpur, Madhya Pradesh. Sir, if you could please place your question.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, you are.
Actually, I had one point over here that since we are focusing on plastic waste management and we are more of a focus, we more have a focus on the plastic waste segregation that is to happen at source, particularly in commercial areas. But and also we have plastic waste management rules in existence now. But is there any policy being taken up for reduction in the production itself of plastic, so that the larger picture can be created of reduction at source? That is what we are talking in terms of waste management. If that can be taken up, I feel a lot can happen with the plastic waste management thing.
Yes, it's a good suggestion. We will have to check up with. This is a good question, but very tough question as well, because प्लास्टिक में के इतने uses हैं, मैंने ये convenient तो है, चीज convenient है, सस्ता है, इसलिए इतना proliferate हुआ है. बहुत सारी चीजें हैं, तो इसमें मैं रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा हमारे पेपकॉम के जो संस्थापक हैं साग्निक जी, आप इस पे कुछ कह पाएंगे?
सर, अभी दो क्वेश्चंस और मैंने वह चैट पे देखा. सो पहले इनका क्वेश्चंस मैं थोड़ा आंसर कर देता हूँ. अभी जिन्होंने बात ये पूछा कि व्हाई नॉट वी आर स्टॉपिंग द मैन्युफैक्चरिंग प्रोसेस ऑफ द प्लास्टिक, तो मैं यहाँ पे थोड़ा सा इलेबोरेट करना चाहूँगा इस चीज़ को कि आज अगर देखेंगे ना तो हम लोग सभी प्लास्टिक के साथ ही जुड़े हैं. हर चीज़ में हम लोग जहाँ पे बैठते हैं वो भी प्लास्टिक, कुछ यूज़ करते हैं वो भी प्लास्टिक, हम लोग का घर पे फर्नीचर कुछ हद तक प्लास्टिक का होता है. सो बंद कर देना एक साथ में इट्स वेरी डिफिकल्ट. ठीक है, एक तो ये बहुत बड़ा इंडस्ट्री है, आज यहाँ पे बहुत लोग काम कर रहे हैं, तो एक साथ में बंद कर देंगे तो जॉब अपॉर्चुनिटी लॉस. हम एज ए कंज्यूमर जितना प्लास्टिक को अवॉइड करेंगे जहां जहां पे हम लोगों का पॉसिबिलिटी है. सबसे पहले अगर हम खुद को नहीं चेंज करेंगे तो हम लोग उम्मीद नहीं रख सकते दूसरे भी वो चीज करेगा. तो हम अगर खुद से इस चीज को अवॉइड करते हैं, जितने लोग इसको अवॉइड करेगा डेफिनेटली इसका कंजम्पशन कम होता जाएगा. जब इसका कंजम्पशन कम होगा तो जो आज बेसिकली प्लास्टिक के ऊपर कुछ भी मैन्युफैक्चरिंग कर रहा है वो भी टाइम टू टाइम ऑल्टरनेट प्रोडक्ट जो डिमांड आ रहा है मार्केट से उसी को बनाने में ज्यादा टाइम देगा, तो ऑटोमेटिकली आपका प्लास्टिक प्रोडक्शन वो रिड्यूस होता ही जाएगा. आज से 10 से 12 साल पहले या 15 साल पहले कभी हम लोग कोई भी चाय के दुकान में जब जाते थे तो तब देखना एक छोटा सा प्लास्टिक के ग्लास में चाय दिया जाता था, या फिर आपका मिट्टी के भार, या फिर आपका कांच का ग्लास में. तो मिट्टी भार और कांच का ग्लास ये दोनों बेसिकली आपका ड्यू टू फ्रेजाइल वो कम यूज होता था. मोस्टली प्लास्टिक वाला कप्स यूज होता था चाय पीने के लिए. बट गवर्नमेंट ने कभी इसको बैंड नहीं किया. बट आप अगर देखोगे ना ये लास्ट 10-12 साल में वो प्लास्टिक वाला कप पूरा खत्म हो चुका है. आज कहीं पे भी आप चाय पीने जाओगे आपको प्लास्टिक वाला कप नहीं दिखेगा, बिकॉज कंज्यूमर उसको नहीं अलाउ किया. हम लोग खुद से लोगों को बोलने लगे नहीं इसमें मत दो, वो ऑटोमेटिकली वो चेंज हो जाएगा. तो दिस इज द बेस्ट वे. हम सबको पहले एज ए हम लोग देश के नागरिक हैं, हम लोगों को पहले ये चीज को बोलना पड़ेगा कि हम इसको यूज नहीं करेंगे. जहां जहां पे पॉसिबिलिटीज है हम चाहेंगे उसको अवॉइड करना. जितना प्लास्टिक हम लोग अवॉइड कर सकते हैं ऑल्टरनेट प्रोडक्ट उतना ज्यादा निकल के आएगा.
Thank you very much, Shagnik ji, for that response. Great points made and very poignant response. We have another question, and this will be our final question for the day, by Dr. Nibedita Paul. She's from the University of Science and Technology, Meghalaya. So, ma'am, if you could please place your question. Nibedita ma'am, can you hear us? No worries. We'll move to the next and last question, which is by Mr. Pashim Tiwari from the All India Institute of Local Self-Government.
Yeah, hi, I'm Pashim.
Yes, yes, sir.
Question was to Pradeep. I think, we listened to a very interesting presentation from him and saying that, MRFs have a little bit of sustainability issue as far as the material recovery or sustainability through a material recovery is concerned. So, what is the kind of percentage you are looking at? Because, now all across country, we are having a large number of MRF centers. As a matter of fact, Uttar Pradesh has almost, generated so many number of MRF centers. So what is the kind of input cost or continuous O&M cost which might be required for them to be coming sustainable as an input cost over the years?
So let me start with the downside of the MRFs or the MRFs. One is that the dependency of a material recovery facility is on the material that is coming in, which we don't want to be produced in the first place or to be overused in the first place. Any material out there in the market, we see it as an innovation, whether it's PET or it's packaging material, flexibles. Innovation is not a problem. Handling the innovation is a problem. Now, how the community is handling that, I think that is one of the key challenges that we are facing as a, industry leaders maybe, or civil societies or the concerned stakeholders. Number two, coming to the material recovery facility, in the context of Himalayas, sustaining a material recovery facility is quite different compared to a metro city like Delhi or UP you mentioned. So because the cost of collection is very high in the mountain region, considering the topography, so the cost of operation increases. And also before collection, after collection, segregation and transportation is almost twice the price. And so that is one of the issues. Now, by just selling the material, how much revenue we can generate in terms of percentage, that will be around 30 to 40% only in the hill region. It will go up to, I think, 60% in the urban spaces. But considering the very unorganized but yet very organized market, the rag pickers of the society, they take away all the materials which are the part of scrap. Now, also in terms of our work, we are not scrap dealers. We are waste management entities. Our focus is on the environment rather than the profitability. But obviously, sustainability of any MRF is at the core. So we need to align all the aspects. So we just can't take all the recyclable material, the MRF. We also take up MLP. We also take up monolayer plastic. We also take flexible materials, which does not have any demand. So by disposing of these single-use plastic materials, the only help that we get from our reusable material is that we can easily dispose of these single-use materials. So it's very different. It's very location specific, that the news which is being generated by a particular MRF within a locality. If you talk about Kedarnath, it's very different. If you talk about Kullu district in the main town, it's different. If we go 30 kilometers inside the Parvati Valley from Kullu, it's very different. So it's very location specific. So it can't be a general answer to that. But yeah, in the urban spaces, you can generate up to 50% of revenue.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's my take. Yeah.
थैंक यू प्रदीप जी, बहुत अच्छे से आपने इसका आंसर दिया। मुझे लगता है जो डिपॉजिट रिफंड सिस्टम, क्योंकि जैसे अगर आपने प्लास्टिक चाहे वो हिमालय पहाड़ से निकाला हो, चाहे वो गंगा की तराई से निकाला हो, लेकिन उसका जो वैल्यू, रेजिडुअल वैल्यू, वो सेम मिलने वाला है। तो निश्चय ही जो हमारे दुर्गम क्षेत्र हैं इस तरह के, उनके लिए पॉलिसी बिल्कुल डिफरेंट होनी चाहिए। ये आज के डिस्कशन से ये निकल के आया है कि ये जरूरी, तो एक इस ओर लिया हुआ कदम जो आपका कुछ स्टेट गवर्नमेंट और कुछ सिटी गवर्नमेंट DRS लगा रही है, ये बिल्कुल सही डायरेक्शन में किया हुआ कदम है। इस पे हम लोग भी काम करेंगे। महुआ की तरफ से भी हम लोग इस पे कुछ वर्क करेंगे। इन सारे स्टेट जो आपने यूटीज एंड हिमालयन सिटीज के बारे में बताया है, बहुत ही अच्छा सजेशन है आपका। और आज के हमारे जो और भी वक्ता हैं, सबको आज सबकी यही विशेषता है कि सब लोगों को प्रधानमंत्री ने अपने मन की बात में भी इनकी जिक्र की है, चाहे वो प्रदीप जी हों, चाहे वो हमारे कलकत्ता सागनी जी, आप मोस्टली कलकत्ता में हैं, यू आर बेस्ड इन कलकत्ता?
कलकत्ता, ओनली कलकत्ता।
क्योंकि आपने कुछ रेस्टोरेंट्स की बात कही, तो मैंने भी अपना इनिशियल कलकत्ता में ही गुजारा है, तो मुझे भी बहुत अच्छा लगा आपने कुछ रेस्टोरेंट्स की बात कही। अब आप वो आईआरसीटीसी की तरफ भी कदम करें, तो मेरा एक थोड़ा सा मुझे भी एक क्वेश्चन है कि आप जो ऑल्टरनेटिव मटेरियल बना रहे हैं, वो लिक्विड टाइप जैसे दाल वगैरह को कैसे केटर कर पाएगा? मेनली सबसे बड़ा प्रॉब्लम तो वही है, सूखी चीज तो रह जाती है, बट थोड़ी सी गीली चीज जो रहती है उसमें प्रॉब्लम होता है पेपर बेस्ड में।
सर एक्चुअली ना, ये हम लोग जो रॉ मटेरियल यूज करते हैं, ये बेसिकली पेपर बोर्ड होता है। मोस्टली आईटीसी हम लोगों का मेन मेजर रॉ मटेरियल सप्लायर है। तो इसके अंदर ना एक बैरियर कोटिंग होता है, जो बेसिकली ऑयल एंड फूड ग्रेड, ऑयल रेजिस्टेंस और फूड ग्रेड मटेरियल से होता है। तो इसी बैरियर कोटिंग के वजह से इसके अंदर में कुछ भी लिक्विड आइटम हो तो वो एटलीस्ट 4 आवर्स तक तो पूरा होल्ड करते ही है।
अच्छा, और मतलब कि
कुछ केस में वो
बायोडिग्रेडेबल
6 से
तो
8
है,
घंटा भी होल्ड करता है।
बायोडिग्रेडेबल होगा ये मटेरियल?
ये इंडस्ट्रियल कंपोस्टेबल आज के डेट में है।
हाँ।
अभी इनिशियली एक रिसर्च कंप्लीट हो चुका है और वो टेस्टिंग मोड पे है। उसको अगर हम लोग क्रैक कर लेते हैं तो इट विल बी कंप्लीटली बायोडिग्रेडेबल हो जाएगा।
ओके ओके, थैंक यू। तो आज हम लोग जो हमारा 10th एपिसोड है स्वच्छ टॉक्स, जिसमें कि हम लोगों ने स्पेशली ऑन द ईव ऑफ वर्ल्ड एनवायरनमेंट डे पे रखा है। कल क्योंकि बहुत सारे कार्यक्रम दिल्ली में भी हो रहे हैं, हर अर्बन लोकल बॉडी में भी होंगे। जो प्लास्टिक की जो भीषण समस्या है, निश्चय ही जैसा कि बताया गया कि सिंगल यूज प्लास्टिक, सारे प्लास्टिक खराब नहीं होते हैं, सिंगल यूज प्लास्टिक जो होते हैं वही उसे हम लोग किस तरह से कम कर सकते हैं, वही हमारा एक चैलेंज है और हमारा एक उद्देश्य भी है, जिसमें कि सभी हमें, अगर हम खुद तत्पर हो जाएं इसे कम करने के लिए, तो हम इसे कर भी सकते हैं। तो नेचुरली इट इज अ डिमांड और सप्लाई का गेम है। अगर जैसे ही इसका डिमांड कम हो जाएगा, सिंगल प्लास्टिक सप्लाई ऑटोमेटिक कम हो जाएंगे। तो मैं धन्यवाद देता हूं श्री प्रदीप जी को, जो कि बहुत ही उत्तम कार्य कर रहे हैं टफ टेरेन हिमालयन रीजन में। श्री साग्निक मुखर्जी जी को, जिन्होंने कुछ एक नए प्रोडक्ट मार्केट में लॉन्च किए हैं और उम्मीद है और अच्छा करेंगे इस क्षेत्र में, और भी बहुत सारे स्टार्टअप्स इसको अडॉप्ट करेंगे, क्योंकि इंडिया का मार्केट हमारा बहुत बड़ा है। और इसके अलावा सारा एंड अधीरा एसएचजी ग्रुप, आपके जो येलो बैग्स कंसेप्ट है, दैट्स रियली बहुत ही बढ़िया है। इसे ही हमें सबको अपनाने की जरूरत है। हमारे जो साड़ियों के दुकान हो, चाहे कोई भी दुकान हो, वो पैकेजिंग भी अगर इसी टाइप के सिस्टम में करना शुरू कर दें, तो नेचुरली हम लोग प्लास्टिक के यूजेस, सिंगल यूज प्लास्टिक को कम करना कम हो जाएगा। इसके साथ ही हमारे जितने भी श्रोता आज अर्बन लोकल बॉडी से हैं, उन सभी को मैं धन्यवाद देता हूं कि आप सबों ने इसे देखा और समझा, और इस चीज़ों को आप अमल भी करेंगे अपने अपने क्षेत्र में, और लोगों को प्रोत्साहित भी करेंगे कि लोग इसे एडॉप्ट करें। तो इसके साथ ही हम लोग अपने 10वें एपिसोड की इस स्वच्छता टॉक्स को आज यहीं विराम देते हैं। धन्यवाद। Thank you.
Thank
you.